There's really only 3 major things that you have to do in the lawn this spring, so what's the rush? It is February, and contrary to popular belief, the 2022 lawn season is not here yet. It is close, but it's not here yet. Did you know that the meteorological spring starts on March 1st, but the actual astronomical spring does not start until the 3rd week of March? So we are still in winter right now, but I know you got the itch to get out in the lawn. I'm starting to get there with the new house. I got a lot of work to do, so I kind of want to get it going. So what would you do in the spring to your lawn? Well, there's really only 3 major things, and that's what we're going to talk about today here on Budget Lawns in this video. And I don't even feel bad about it. It's like 24 degrees outside, wind chill of 13, and I am still in my PJs, so excuse my relaxation. All right, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you as always. Your support means a lot to me. If it's your first time here, I hope it's not your last. I'd love to see you around more often. Give me a thumbs up. Comment, all that jazz helps out the channel so much. So we're going to talk about the 3 main tasks you do to your lawn. And I've got a Bermuda lawn in the springtime. I've got new construction, so I won't be doing all this to my lawn, but if you're already established, here's what you would want to do. And really, we're going to talk about these 3 things in order. Your first step in the spring would be to throw down a pre-emergent herbicide. So what is a pre-emergent herbicide? Well, that is an herbicide that prevents weeds from coming up in the first place. On the other side of that is a post-emergent herbicide. That is what you would use to kill weeds that are already present. But in the spring, you will want to throw down a pre-emergent herbicide as the temperatures start getting a little bit warmer and those weeds start to germinate. Now, this isn't a one-size-fits-all on all these tasks we're talking about. The further south you are, the warmer it will get sooner, so you will be just a little bit further ahead of the schedule than some of us folks a little bit further north. I'm in the northern part of Arkansas, so I wouldn't start really doing any of this stuff until about the 3rd week of March. That's when I would put my pre-emergent down. So for some of you folks further south in Texas, southern Georgia, southern Alabama, Florida, maybe you're throwing that down the end of February or first part of March. But for me, it's about the 3rd week of March that my pre-emergent will go down to prevent the crabgrass later on in the spring as temperatures really start warming and any of those other cool season weeds that really start showing up in the springtime. So right now, still too early for most of us to put pre-emergent down. Hang tight on that just a little bit longer. So what would be the second thing you would do in the spring? Well, since I have a Bermuda lawn, I would be scalping it. So what is scalping it? In simple terms, it is using your lawnmower to take it down as low as possible, bagging the clippings, getting them off of the lawn, and opening the soil and the turf up to more sunshine, more airflow, more nutrients, fertilizer that you're going to throw down to help wake it up after its dormancy in the winter and start greening up sooner rather than later. So how do you know when it's the right time to scalp your Bermuda lawn? Well, my kind of rule of thumb is to look at your almanac and see when your typical last freeze for the season is. Mine is around the 2nd week of April. So I'll be monitoring the forecast towards the first part of April to see if we've got any freezes over the long range forecast. And if we don't, I might go ahead and try and scalp a little bit sooner than that 2nd week of April. But a good rule of thumb is wait to do your scalp until your final freeze for the year. That way it doesn't start to green up and to get hit by another hard freeze and set you back a little further. But again, with some of this stuff, there's really no way to predict it. We do the best we can. We dribble, shoot, and hope for the best. And whatever happens, happens. And typically everything is going to turn out okay. So when you scalp, again, just take it down as low as possible, whether you're using your rotary motor or a reel mower. I use both. I'll start with the rotary mower to get kind of the worst of it off on top, and then I'll take it down as low as I can without hitting dirt with the reel mower. Bag all those clippings, get them off the lawn, and you have scalped for the season. You'll start seeing that thing green up even faster. So that's number 2. Number 3, we are going to throw down a spring fertilizer. We're talking about timing here. So when would you throw down your spring application of fertilizer? Well, for me with the Bermuda, I am going to wait till it's around 75% greened up. You know, I don't want to throw it on just a bunch of dormant grass because it's not doing anything. It's really not growing a whole lot. It's not going to use that fertilizer as nutrients to help it wake up necessarily. I want to wait till it's already kind of woken up from its winter dormancy, and then that fertilizer will be able to be utilized more, and you know what that's going to do? It's going to help save me money. So wait till your grass is about 75-80% greened up before you throw down that first round of fertilization. Now, as I've talked here in the past, I will use a bag of 10 fertilizer, and then I will come back and I will use some organic, whether it be ProCare Natural, Milorganite, anything slow release organic fertilizer. I kind of hit it with a 1-2 punch of both of those. So whatever fertilizer you like best, just roll with it. Look, this isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's what works best for you. Okay, so that's it. There's really only 3 things we got to do in the spring, and I'm talking predominantly Bermuda grass lawns. We're going to throw down a pre-emergent towards the 3rd week of March. And we're going to come back the first week or 2 of April. And that's when we're going to scalp our lawn down as low as possible to help it wake up from its winter dormancy. And then once it's woken up a little bit, and we're starting to see 75 to 80% green grass in the lawn, we'll throw down fertilizer. And then we're kickstarting things for the 2022 season. And then from then on out, it is a marathon, not a sprint, until the fall. So just enjoy the ride. Don't try to rush things. I hope you'll follow me along all season long. Again, I've got a new construction Bermuda lawn. I've started a playlist down below that has kind of everything I'm doing if you're in the same boat that I am. So a lot of the things I'm going to do this season will be different than someone with an established lawn. But still, we're going to talk about all the tips, tricks, basics here that are going to save you time and money, because you know that's all Budget Lawns is about. Thanks again for joining me. We will see you again next time.